G'day solar viewers. You might remember some time ago I did a little short on this property where I am at the moment. Sorry, I'm out of breath, just walked up this hill. I did a short and took a bit of a video of this landscape here up in Gidgegannup, and I mentioned that a bushfire came through here. Well, that bushfire came through on the 1st of the 2nd 2021, came over the top of that hill there, and unfortunately my client's house there was a victim of the bushfire. It completely wiped out their house. The owner of the property was here defending the house on that night, and he did his best, but unfortunately an ember attack came through and they lost their house as a result, as did many people in the Gidgegannup fires. It was quite a widespread fire. All these hills across here was all completely burnt and blacked out. It's been a few years now. But it was a bit of a sad story because they thought they were insured. They thought they were fine. So despite it being a fairly tragic outcome and losing their house and all their lifetime belongings and everything, at the end of the day they thought they were insured. They were insured with one of the major players that regularly advertise on TV nationwide and in Australia. I won't mention the name, but they were of the understanding they were insured, but through technical reasons they weren't insured, and the insurer did not pay up. And again, this is a very prominent insurer that regularly advertises on TV and radio. So I guess my message is to check your policies. If you read the fine print, make sure you're covered for everything you need to be covered for. Natural disasters, acts of God, whatever they want to word it, just make sure that you're fully covered, because at the end of the day these guys unfortunately were not covered. So they lost their house, they lost a lot of things. A lot of volunteers came to help. A lot of companies donated to help them rebuild the house, which, as you can see, they're slowly but surely rebuilding it now. It's a bit more than 2 years on, and the framework's up and they're rebuilding it. And so I've been here doing their solar replacement. They did have solar on the original house. It was an end-phase system, but we've done something completely different, and I'd like to acknowledge a couple of companies that have contributed to the project I've done for my clients up here. The first one is Tindo Solar. Tindo Solar is an Australian company. They manufacture their solar panels in South Australia, and I sent an email to them asking them if they would be able to assist us in any way and our client in getting back on their feet and rebuilding. And Tindo, which you can see the panels there on the roof, there's 23 of them, 410 watt panels, and they contributed greatly. It was a very significant contribution, and on behalf of my client they're eternally grateful for their contribution in rebuilding the solar system. Another company that contributed was PowerPlus Energy. Very significant contribution from them as well, another awesome Australian company, and thanks to their support it made the system a lot more affordable, as my clients have been rebuilding from the generosity of friends, family, and friends of friends who have donated generously to help them rebuild and start their lives over again. And yeah, so much appreciation to those companies. It was very, very generous of them. So I'm going to run through what I've done here for my client. This is a bit of a unique setup. So because they're rural here, they do have a limited supply, and it was always a problem on the old house, and they would often trip their main circuit breaker. They are fairly isolated out here. So the system we've gone for is a grid connected hybrid setup. So effectively it's an off-grid system, which I'll show you in a moment. It's an off-grid system, but it's using the grid as their generator, if you like. So instead of a regular off-grid system that would call on the generator to automatically start to offer support, in this instance it actually uses the grid for that support. Very unique setup, and in Western Australia, under the Western Power Network, there's only really one inverter we can use to do such a system, and that is the Selectronic inverter. So down in the shed there we've got a Selectronic SP Pro and a Selectronic Certified Fronius inverter, 8.2 kilowatt. So I'll take you down there and show you that. Now the benefits of that system is that they're no longer under the constraints of Western Power telling them what size solar system they can have. They're effectively disconnected from the grid, if you like, by the way the inverter is configured. It's running in series with the grid. It's not running in parallel with the grid like a regular grid connected solar system on a residential property. So I'm also doing one of these systems on a residential property in Padbury for another client, and that's purely because they don't want to be limited by Western Power as to what size system they can have. They want to have the freedom to have as big a size system as possible, as many batteries as possible, and not have to pay for their usage from the network, which, like I said, you're using the grid as your backup generator, but you're only calling on the grid when it's needed, which should be very rare. So let's take a walk down, and I'll show you the system. So just on the shed there, you can see we've got 12 panels on this side in landscape, and then on the other side of the shed there's 11 panels also in landscape. And the way I've laid them out, it'll get maximum solar generation from the morning and the afternoon sun. That tree you can see in the background going to be removed anyway. One reason is to protect their house from further fires. So they're going to have a large clearing around the house there just to protect them a bit better from any potential future fires. So that tree there will be going anyway, because that's a bit of a shading issue at the moment. So let's take a walk down, and I'll show you what we've got going on down here. This system will provide lots of benefits that you can't really get with a regular grid connected system. This is the shed here. That's the system I've built for them. So on the left there you've got your Selectronic SP Pro 482 inverter. It's an Australian made inverter, and you've got your control panel there which tells you all the details as to what's happening. This is also connected to the Selectronic Live platform, so it can be viewed online from wherever you have an internet connection. And next to that we have the Fronius Selectronic Certified Primo inverter. There's our PowerPlus batteries. At the moment we've only got 4, but as you can see that's an 8 battery cabinet, so if required we can add a few more batteries, and they can bring the system up to its full potential as the budget allows. So in this instance, if the grid fails, they've still got power. This will just operate as normal with no limitations, and they can carry on. Likewise, if that system fails, they can switch over to the generator. yeah, lots of little things that show the devastation of the fire. I'll take you for a walk down by the house there. Beautiful property. After a long legal battle, which was helped out with, again, friends, that enabled them to put their argument forward to the insurance company as to why they should still be insured, and to defend them and hopefully get the, you know, the fair outcome. That went on for years, well, not years, 18 months or so, and then eventually concluded that an insurance company was going to do absolutely nothing. So, you know, now they're rebuilding. I'll put up some photos of the house, but you can see evidence down there of the terrible outcome. You see the deck's all burnt out down there. And that was all burnt out, all through there. So there we go, guys. That's just a bit of a quick story as to what I've been up to, and just a little short video just to say thank you to those amazing Australian companies that have helped out. Tindo Australia for your solar panels. Make sure you look them up and support them, because they're obviously supporting fellow Australians. And also PowerPlus Energy. Both companies I regularly use for my solar systems, whether it be off-grid or residential. Anybody can access their products through authorized installer. If you would like contact details for them, feel free to send me an email at jason@jeswa.com.au, or obviously reach out through to me on YouTube or Facebook. Alright guys, big thank you to those companies, and thank you to everyone for watching. Cheers.